Right now, residents are telling Local 10 they're struggling to get help holding their property management company accountable. It's a company we told you about in November. Owners alleging corruption and mismanagement.
And now people living at several other communities managed by that same company tell Local 10 investigator Amy Viteri it's happening to them too.
We all try to achieve that American dream that turns into a nightmare dealing with companies like this.
More communities coming forward, sharing horror stories about the same property management company.
They've closed it down because, again, there's trash everywhere.
Other neighbors here are saying that they haven't been able to use the pool in 10 years.
We first told you about BDM Property Management in November.
Do you want to say anything really quick while we've got you about all of these allegations of financial mismanagement?
If you gladly send an email, we'll...
This was after people living at Three Horizons East condominium in North Miami complained there have been no meetings or elections for years, massive liens on the property, and no telling where their maintenance fees are going. They and other communities allege the property manager, Mike Curtis, fraudulently installed their association's board.
It all sounded very familiar. The secrecy, the outright lies in some cases.
There's about a half dozen violations, and we have a lien on the property, $500. That's a day.
Patty Kratenko lives in the Cypress Gardens complex in Hollywood. We obtained records showing a lien on the property of around $60,000 as of late January.
I wasn't able to bring my phone in.
Neighbors at the Colonies 2 in Lauderdale Lakes say they had to fight to review financials for their community. And when they did, they noticed glaring discrepancies. This copy shows a deposit of nearly $300,000 related to a Hurricane Irma insurance settlement back in 2020. But look at this copy shown to owner Ed Gaminsky. The Irma deposit is missing.
Hey, you know, what's going on with the Hurricane Irma claim? They said, oh, well, it's still in federal court and it's sealed by a judge, so, you know, nobody's going to be able to get to see it.
Financials also revealed two unexplained large credits to the board president and vice president. The amount roughly equal to a year's worth of maintenance fees.
I went through a lot with Mr. Curtis.
This woman named Carol says she became owner of her unit at the Colonies 2 after her mother passed away of brain cancer in 2019. But Curtis immediately started trying to get her out.
As he kept saying he's going to auction it out, he's going to get me out of there, and I'm like, I just lost my mom.
Several neighbors told us Curtis targeted them for eviction. They believe in an effort to take over their units, often towing their cars from right in front of their homes.
13 times, to be exact.
That's right, towed an unlucky 13 times. Or maybe luck had nothing to do with it. As records show, the towing company is owned by a man who actually co-purchased a unit in the very same complex, along with, you guessed it, Mike Curtis.
I said, wow, isn't this amazing?
Back at Three Horizons East, frustrated owners say association-owned units have been secretly sold out from under them, with no indication what happened to the money.
Do you own Unit 609? We're just trying to get some information about how you were able to buy an association-owned unit.
While the property just got slapped with even more liens last month, Curtis appears to be living a lavish lifestyle. Residents point to his social media posts showing pricey vehicles, an RV, boats, and other toys.
It is 9:58 a.m., February 6th.
And just last week at Colonies 2, owners showed up for what should have been their scheduled annual meeting, desperate to elect a new board.
There is no meeting being held. We're out here waiting.
Same thing the week before for Cypress Gardens owners, who were told to drive to BDM's office in Pompano for their annual meeting. But look what happened when they got there.
That's the Zoom link, and that's...
No, but it says here in your property, in this property.
It says here on this property at 1 o'clock.
They're told the election is now on Zoom before the door is shut and locked in their face.
Okay.
Helplessness, because not even the department wants to help us.
Neighbors say an investigator with Florida's Department of Business and Professional Regulation in Fort Lauderdale told them to go online and make a complaint.
You report to the Department of Business and Professional Regulation. You report to the mayor. You report to the commissioner. You're on the news, and nothing is done. No one seems to care.
Amy Viteri, Local 10 News.
The Department of Business and Professional Regulation has filed several administrative complaints against Curtis in recent years, but has not revoked his license. In an email to Local 10, a spokesperson writes in part, quote, complaints against Mr. Curtis are still under review and there has been no change in his license status. We reached out to Curtis multiple times and his attorney responded demanding we cease and desist from contacting him.